No pressure there. I have a secret that I have to tell you. It's embarrassing, but I feel like I can trust you and it'll stay between us. I am a 30-year-old love virgin. I don't know how I managed to make it through all these years without the experience of being in love, other than to say that throughout my life I just wasn't particularly interested in love. I wasn't that girl who dreamt about my wedding. Instead, I dreamt about being CEO of my own company. Until I met Bill. We met at a club, we danced all night, and he was a terrible dancer. But he knew it, and we had fun, and he was familiar in this completely unfamiliar way. And I left that night, and I felt nervous and excited and unbalanced. And those feelings only intensified when the next day, against all expectations, he called me. And every day thereafter, each time he'd say, "I'll call you tomorrow," and I'd think, "Yeah, right," but he would. And with each promise followed through on and each successful date, I felt happier and more unbalanced as I realized I had no idea how to be in a relationship like this. He was romantic and expressive. I was emotionally frigid. He would say, "I'm so happy right now," and I'd say, "Glad to hear it." He'd say, "I am so happy I met you." I'd say, "Thanks, I appreciate that." He'd say, "You are amazing in bed," and I'd say, "I did take a class." He said, "I'm falling in love with you." I said, "Do you have a remote? 'Cause I don't know." It's not that I necessarily felt differently. I thought I was falling in love, but I didn't know. I'd never done it before. I don't like to do things that I don't know how to do. So I decided to do some research. Have you ever Googled love? Useless. You get everything from Wikipedia to the Beatles. Worth nothing. So I went to my friends who claimed to have done it, and I asked them, did it hurt? Was it scary? Did I have to tell my parents? From there I went to watching Lifetime movies, looking for a secret. They were very little help. So one day I'm at the mall stalking this octogenarian couple who just really seemed to have it figured out, when the thought came to me that every freaking person on the planet seems able to manage this. Perhaps I was making this a little more complicated than it needed to be. And I was appalled at myself, because I'm not someone who hides from challenges or lets fear plan my course. So I was like, that's it, I just gotta suck it up. I gotta man up and tell him I'm in love with him. And I am just gonna be open and expressive and emotional. And he is gonna be so proud and so happy that it'll totally be worth it. So that night he came over, and it was clear right away that he was distracted, a little grumpy, so I'll hold off. I'm not going to say it like that. So it just kept getting worse as the night went on. I was just totally going to ruin my moment. So finally I said, what is the matter with you? And he said, what is the matter with me? What is the matter with you? I am in love with you, okay? I am sitting here planning our life. I'm picking the song we're going to dance to at our wedding. I'm naming our kids. What are you doing? I said, well, for your information, I'm falling in love with you, all right? And I was going to tell you, big romantic thing. Now you've ruined it, so I hope you're happy. And just like that, I crossed over, and I was a member of the Love Club. I wondered if I looked different, because I felt different. Nothing really changed in our relationship. He continued to be reliable and funny, and I continued listening to his problems and having mediocre sex. And one day, right before Christmas, having this very routine conversation, and suddenly he says, I have something I need to tell you. Uh-oh. No, it's not bad. It's just something I need you to know. Remember way back when I made that big speech about how I was so in love with you, spend my life with you? I was like, yeah, I remember. He goes, well, Yeah, actually, it's not so much. What? Yeah, my bad. Totally my bad. But yeah, not actually in love. So yeah, so you're breaking up with me? No, I don't think we need to break up. I mean, I think this is great. I want to be honest with you, because I thought you deserved that. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and break up with you then. So, later after the sobbing subsided, and I realized that in addition to being utterly heartbroken, I also felt calm for the first time since I met Bill, because I was finally back on familiar ground. Getting over a breakup, that I knew how to do. I even had a system. First step, wallowing. You just get one day just wallow in all the self-pity and misery you can muster. Step 2, exorcism. Get them off your IM playlist, get them off MySpace, out of your cell phone, email address book, all of it. You gotta wash your sheets, your blankets, your pillowcases, your pajamas, your clothes, anything that has a scent on it. Vacuum, dust, burn candles, remove or rearrange anything with a connection to him. Next, step 3, get a project. Something preferably physical so you get those endorphins. But the basic thing is you need to be able to say several times a day, who needs him anyway? I am totally busy training for the Iditarod, or whatever. But Bill and I had broken up right before Christmas, so we hadn't exchanged our presents. So I discovered a new step. I returned all his Christmas presents and spent the day at the spa. This is a very good step, and it needs to stay in the system. But you can't be sure you're going to break up at Christmas every time. So I decided that I would create a fund, a heart insurance fund, if you will. And when I'm in a relationship, for every month that goes by, I'll deposit $100 into this fund. So whenever the breakup occurs, I have spa money. So, now, I don't know if I learned anything about love or if I'll be any more prepared for the next relationship, but I'm definitely prepared for the next breakup. And actually, if it's a really long relationship, I could have a whole spa vacation.